Hey everybody, this is editing Eric. So I just got out of therapy right now. I'm still outside of the office. What you're gonna see now is something I taped a couple of weeks ago, which was the start of the actual EMDR therapy. So make sure to tune in to the very end where I will put in the actual event and what we dealt with on the first EMDR section or first trauma that we dealt with. So make sure to continue to the very end where I will pop up back up and give you a more descript of the first EMDR. Oh, your mind comes out of therapy and you are just mush.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago.
Series that I have started, I thought I would give you guys an update video on what has been going on, how I have been doing, therapy, and we have a lot of other chapters to do, which I will get into during this video. But please, I know it's not, happy stories and stuff, but please don't feel, bad about things. Let me deal with them. I've been dealing with them for years. Let me hold on to whatever I'm holding on to. Don't take it on as for yourself, okay? So this is Help Us Help Eric, Pieces of Me. I don't know what chapter of the episode this is, but this is EMDR update and therapy update. I don't know. Alrighty, so we're gonna start. I've got my support group here, which is Allie, who was a dog that passed away about a year ago, and there's Pink, and there is who is that? It smells familiar. It smells like Laura from Favorites with Laura taking a fart. Anyway, all right, let's give you an update on what's been going on. First, I don't even know if I really ever had said really everything that has gone on. I'm going to be 57 at the end of this month. And the time frame that really had gone wrong was childhood and my family, my parents and my sister in particular. That is really where everything occurred. Then everything after that, once I left that and after that, was a reasoning for what things had come after that when it comes to the bad things. I'm going to save that part for last, but just know that that's where everything has stemmed from. I have been in and out of therapy since 1992. I had recently heard about EMDR therapy, which is supposed to help deal with trauma. And so I went specifically looking for that. And it took me a very long time to find that and to find a person that accepted my insurance and to find somebody to connect with. EMDR is based on your brain and left and right eye movements, or, you know, a left-right kind of motion or feeling that taps into your brain. And I can't even think of what EMDR stands for right now, but I believe it's eye movement something. She's gonna ring the bell during this session, and I'm gonna be very upset. She's gonna ring the bell. That's my dog Pink here, letting me know to open up the side door because she has to go pee pee or caca. Now she hasn't done it yet, but she's over there. She's gonna press that button, and there it is. I'm gonna pause this. I'll be right back. Okay, so that was only a second for you guys, but so I opened the door for her. Sorry, Allie. So while I did that, I did look up EMDR and what it stands for. It stands for eye movement, which I remembered, desensitization and reprocessing for trauma. So essentially what it does is they bring the trauma up in your mind, your feelings, and all that. So I'm just doing a quickie explanation. They take you to that trauma and they try to then install and have you think about you being more in power, or whatever it might take, depending on the situation, for you to actually work that trauma out, let that trauma work itself out with a happier ending kind of thing. And then they lock that into your brain kind of thing. Okay, so that's the basic of what actually happens. Now I have CPTSD, which is complex, which is multiple traumas opposed to one, which is a lot harder because, you know, they're smaller moments opposed to one big moment like a crash or something. So for the last months, we have been just talking about everything that has gone on that I can remember. There's a huge blockage of childhood that I cannot tell you anything about. She has said that I essentially have locked all those in my brain and to protect me, and that's why that area is kind of closed off. Now the issue when you're dealing with the EMDR is that when it comes to complex PTSD, is the worst thing to do is actually talk about it. But with this kind of theory, you have no choice. You have to talk about it. So I have been talking for months about everything that I can remember of all the bad that I can remember that has gone on, so that she could, you know, figure out a system that she needs to go through to help me, you know, so a plan, you know, a therapy plan that she needs to figure out for me. So I was told that this was going to be very difficult, and it has been really hard, because all that stuff is just hanging over you, because now it's all, you know, out and all over and hanging around you. And then plus I also suffer from depression, so depression Like yesterday, it hit me yesterday. I could not move till about 1:30 p.m. I didn't even take my medications till about 1:30. And then eventually I came out of it. This morning I didn't wake up till 10:30, and I only woke up because George called, and I was deep in a dream, trapped in a dream. That is one of my major issues, is that I have daily, not necessarily nightmares, but they're always not right. Every night I am unrested because I am constantly in a vivid dream. And this has been going on for years and years. We don't know why that's happening. We believe that possibly the EMDR therapy will help that, because it's maybe the back of your brain trying to work through the issues of the traumas. So we're hoping that happens. And the reason that we've come to this after all these years, because this has been going on for years, obviously, we also have discovered that I have no testosterone for the past 15 years or so, and they have been trying to pump testosterone in me, and it does not stay. And I've gone through so many tests, brain scans and MRIs and blood tests, and for years I've been going through tests to try to figure out what's going on. We believe now that it is due to sleep deprivation. This is pretty much the last step, last thing that it could be. Otherwise, it's something that they don't know. So they believe that it is possibly sleep deprivation because I'm not resting at night, and that is the time where the testosterone needs to be able to rebuild itself. But at the same time, taking the testosterone increases other things and does bad things. So, hello. Oh, it looked like she threw up on me, but she did. I'm not sure what she gave me. I hope it's not like a bug. Hold on. What is this? Oh, it's a piece of carrot. So, and see what happens there? My brain doesn't hold onto stuff, so I completely forgot what we were talking about, because my mind is so busy protecting itself that taking in information or thinking about things makes it very foggy. And in school, they always thought I was lazy. They always called me lazy, that I had no, that I showed no effort. Well, looking back now, hindsight, we see what it is. My brain was so protecting that it was not allowing new info in. So this really has become a huge, hindsight looking back type thing. So forgive me, I did forget what I was saying. But I think it was about the testosterone. So we are hoping that this EMDR will help the dreams, then help me sleep, and then help me get testosterone back. Like I was saying, I did take testosterone therapy, but then some other things increased, which are dangerous, like I think your liver numbers. And when I saw the endocrinologist last, who deals with my testosterone, my red blood cells were so high that if I even were to start testosterone, she said you would explode. So she recommended that I go give blood. So I went and donated blood to the Red Cross because I had too much blood in my system. So I can't even start testosterone therapy if I wanted to. I've also just been diagnosed with diabetes, which I know I was always on the scale of. I did lose weight with one of the shots, but then Allie had passed away and everything hit the fan, and I ended up stopping the shots and gaining all the weight back. So it was, it's really hard trying to deal with everything on top of the testosterone issue. So, you know, my mental issues, right, with everything that's going on, turned into panic attacks because the brain, you know, can only hold on to what it's locked to for so long, and eventually it starts to break up. And that is what turned into, starting in 1992, panic attacks and anxiety disorder, which eventually took over completely, where I was bedridden. So between the mental issues, you know, by themselves, and then you add the lack of testosterone, which has been, it is even possible that my testosterone has always been low. It's very possible. And there is so many things connected to testosterone, guys, that on top of the mental issues that I'm dealing with, the testosterone then makes it that much harder, because I don't have, you know, a lot of things that I need to have to be able to help myself through certain things, you know. Like they always say, exercise, work on your core. I'm lucky I get out of bed, let alone work on my core. You know, it's just not, and I tell them it's not going to happen. Let me just give you some of the symptoms that come with, so they give you to give you an idea. Actually, I need to actually be able to see it. So, low sex drive or no sex drive. So you don't want to be married to me. Problems having an erection. I don't even know where mine is, let alone to find it. I got 2 belly buttons. Okay, that's all I could tell you, without getting too graphic. Low sperm count. I don't care. I'm not having any kids. Sleep problems such as insomnia, decrease in size and strength in your muscle. Bone loss, which they did do a test for my bones and my bone density because they were concerned. Increase in body fat. Hello, I'm a huge I'm a huge person. Depression. Hello. Trouble concentrating. You guys just saw what happened. That is literally what happens. It's a brain fog. So a lot of times when I'm talking in a conversation with other people, I literally have to try to cut somebody off and ask for forgiveness, because if I don't say it, I'm going to forget it. And people take it as, oh, you know, you just want it to be about you. Oh, no. I literally, if I don't get it out right now, it will be gone. And that's been happening a lot. And that is no fun at all. So, and there's a lot of other issues that obviously come with it. Now, it is natural as you age to have your testosterone get lower. That is normal, and you could usually take, things to help increase it. Mine is obviously very different. Mine has been going on for we don't even know how long, and it has nothing to do with my age. So we're just praying at this point that it is based on my sleep issues being connected to the testosterone, and also hope that my numbers, you know, when it comes to blood count numbers, liver numbers, or whatever numbers get affected by testosterone replacement, will be better, so that I can actually take the testosterone once my sleep gets better. I've done the androgel, which is a literal gel-like substance that you put under your arms. I don't know if it was once or twice a day. I don't remember how many. That was a long time ago. And then eventually they switched me to injections, which was extremely difficult because you have to inject it into your muscle. And the needle is really wide and long because the liquid is very dense. So the needle has to be wide so that the liquid is able to come out of the needle because it's very thick. And I would sit there for, sometimes an hour or more and not even do it because I just could not get my mind and my hand to be able to, you know, jam this into my leg. So that was really tough to do. I'm hoping when it comes down to it and I do get to try the testosterone therapy again, that it's a self-injector, kind of like, you know, the Ozempics and those kind of things where you just you just put it there and it automatically injects it in. I'm hoping they have that. But otherwise, it has been tough for me. It has been tough for me to get up and do things due to the depression, due to the lack of testosterone. But thanks to this channel, it gives me a reason to be able to sometimes, not all the time, sometimes push through and get set up and get a video going. So I know this is weird to say, but whenever I do get a video out, you know, it is a blessing in a way, you know, that I was able to do it and fight through it. And for anyone that is, you know, asking, you know, a lot of, I've gotten questions where, you know, is your joking just, you know, hiding your sadness or your trauma? Absolutely not. This is me. I am crazy. I am always this way. I just consider myself, I've never grown up, and people's laughter makes me happier. So that is one of the things that helps me through, is knowing that I was able to change somebody's day. They were having a bad day. I do consider it a gift that I've been able to make people laugh on the worst days of their lives. And I think that is a gift. Obviously, you know, we're not laughing about the bad thing that happened, but we are realizing that nothing is going to change the bad thing that has happened. So you either cry about it or laugh about it, or you do both. And both is probably the best way to deal with it, because you do need to get out. You do need to let things out, and you do need to mourn and stuff. But don't feel bad about laughing in between. Trust me, if the people really loved you, on the other side, they are happy to see you happy. And with that, we will conclude this one, but I will let you know that I have a lot of other videos and other chapters coming up, including literally, you know, coming out during the AIDS crisis and the HIV crisis, and how I got through it, how it affected me, who did I lose, things like that. We also have other stories that we will let you know about as they come. We also have obviously the biggest story, which is my immediate family and what actually happened there and what I do remember. I also have stories about being inappropriately touched more than once by more than one person. Also tries at letting everything go without saying any other words, because YouTube does not like those words, but you know, letting yourself go. Go, 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 go. So there's a lot still to come. I hope that you stick around, because I want people to know that they're not alone, that things go on, and you got to keep fighting until you find the right thing for you, for your DNA, for your history. There are so many different factors. Everybody's bodies and minds are different. What works for one person may not work for the next. You've got to find those things that work for you. So you got to keep trying and looking to see which ones are going to work for you. And all right, guys, so what you just heard, I don't remember because I taped it a couple of weeks ago at this point, probably. But I will say that I purposely kind of haven't put out the next one just because I feel bad. You know, it's the holidays and everything, and I don't want to, you know, ruin anybody's holidays with my baloney. But I figured the people that want to or that need to know are the ones that will watch this. So the first, I have complex PTSD, which is multiple traumas. And the first one that we battled was when I was a kid, and my upstairs neighbor, who was a police officer, came down with his dog Whiskey, and my father was out with our dog Lady, and I was out there as well. It had just snowstormed overnight, so everything was covered in snow. I remember, I don't know how old I was. Ages for me is a total blank for me on ages. You know, I feel like it was that time frame where everybody wore the furry, you know, the hood with the fur. And what happened was they were having a snowball fight. I remember the dogs running around. And at some point, I remember my father knocking me on the floor, face first. So I was face first into the snow. And he got on my back. Now, I don't know how he was on my back. I'm assuming, you know, like straddled, so, you know, had, you know, a knee and a knee maybe on the sides, you know. And then he was bent over, and his hands started to take the snow from in front of me and put it into my face, not knowing that my mouth was open at some point, and that he was actually impacting the snow into my mouth. And I could not speak. I started not to be able to breathe. And I struggled and struggled to try to get him off me, to move, to scream. And it just continued. And I thought that I was going to die that day. And that's all I remember. I don't remember what happened after that. So what EMDR therapy will do is the therapist forces you back to the event so that you picture it clearly. Essentially makes you relive that. And then there is this whole left-right. She uses buzzers, but there's many different ways to do it. She uses buzzers that I hold in my hand, and she buzzes left, right, left, right. This stimulates the brain in some way. And what happens, at least with this particular event, is it finishes the story and gives it a happy ending naturally. It naturally does it. You don't think about it. It just naturally happens. And what ended up happening for me was I seen a visualization of that part in the Matrix, and I could be wrong, and maybe I'll put it in here, where what was his name in the Matrix? Oh, I can't think of his name in the Matrix, but I know it was Keanu Reeves. And he was on the roof, and then all of the evil guys, they all look the same, like he was multiplied, were all coming at him, and they covered him. And then at some point, I think, like, they explode, you know, like they all blow off of him because of his power. And essentially that's what my mind pictured with my father. And essentially my mind threw my father off of me. And then kind of finished that story where I left, you know, I went up the block, you know, where it didn't stop at the trauma. It finished, you know, something positive happened. So, and then they lock that in, you know, into your brain, and that becomes your new ending to that story, to that trauma anyway. So that's what happened. Then we have since dealt with a second one, which I will get into the next time. And now we are on to a third one, which is proving to be very difficult. But that is the update. I'm doing okay. So keep on trucking. You guys fight to be happy. Fight for your happiness. Don't depend on others. And don't let others destroy you. Stay strong. And always smile until it hurts. And if you are not smiling until it, change something. Go to therapy. Change your circle of friends. Don't, if it's your family, blood is not thicker than water. It's absolute crap. It's all about respect and treating you and loving and getting love from somebody, and respect and love. So I've built a family for myself now, including my YouTube family. So thank you guys so much. And I'll keep you updated. Just look for the next part in the series. Help us help Eric. Part of Pieces of Me, the Pieces of Me series. So thank you. Bye. I hope that made sense. If you got questions, ask them. Bye. And so don't give up. All right. So with that, I will say I will see you on the next episode of Pieces of Me. Be kind to one another. Laugh. Even in the times of sadness, try to laugh. Okay? All right. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.